Unity Broadcasting.
Unity Broadcasting Television don't come for unify, sensitize, and inform Salon people home and abroad. Broadcasting TV don't come.
For developments now we countries.
Unify, sensitize, and inform we all.
For developments now we nations alone.
Unity Broadcasting TV don't come.
For developments now we countries.
Unify, sensitize, and inform we all.
For developments now we nations alone.
We now independent media house. We dey here for unify, sensitize, and inform. Sierra Leoneans home and abroad.
We dey have so for talk, but wetin dey happen? Political discussion.
You for know what's alone politics.
Religious messages, entertainment self no go left again.
We no go left nothing again, no.
TV don't come.
For developments now we countries.
Unify, sensitize, and inform we all.
For developments now we nations alone.
Unity Broadcasting TV don't come.
For developments now we countries.
Unify, sensitize, and inform we all.
For developments now we nations alone.
Hello. We Unity Broadcasting and fans them, well wishers them. We say God thank you today now another beautiful blessed day. We Tuesday, April 12, 2022. And to the Muslim Ummah them again, and all thank you. And continue for pray to God say how not start the fast. We'll be similar like Mani Rahim. We'll end up with Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. With the ask that God continue for protect and guide we. And anything way that the thing way not go make we fast proper, it go render impure. Let God sabbath we for that. Anything in a temptation, let God pull up away. Because this 1 month we give we, that the 1 month that for atone for all the mistakes, the problems, and all that thing would also that 1 month is to submit yourself to him, for pray to him, for let it cleanse we, let it show you the light forward. So the belief is that, and once we do it with sincerity, God enough will answer with fast in order name. And first of all, one time we colleagues them, last week, I not be able to join them, but one thing about Unity Broadcast, whether you do or not, the program will continue. So my colleagues them, I wanted them thank you, they do. Of course, I joined them by phone, I not be needed. So this is show the verse, how that this is a very versatile. Wherever we are there, we could always come in. Although we're not going to make a point of duty every now and then for you to talk on the phone, but if in very necessary, just for now, not keep on the dark, not keep on in suspense, we will do them. Today I get 4 major issues that I want to discuss. But first, I want to invite you all. For now, in fact, click and like we all we platform there with Facebook, with WhatsApp groups and any other platform they live now, you may come in now and watch something depending on what will happen, even though not just a 1 hour program, so we'll make little provision for 1 or 2 calls we will come in quick. So at least not necessarily part of the narrative now. Because Unity Broadcasting today for or not to we no more for the country. We also need necessary input. Now, I get 4 things that we will discuss. I start with the first one, where we talk about Samura in your part now with political process and involvement in the fundamental question where we can ask. Samura don't, if we memory go back, it don't be in this political process just about too long. It don't serve now various government there. Even though it can be very doubtful credentials, because we don't, you guys are talking about Inspector General of Police in your credentials, but people like Samuel and SSF, they get very questionable credentials, especially the PhD where he claims that he gets. They not ask her for bring the PhD in order. And when I not forget, say we Samura go na that interview for that job for that ADB, African Development Bank. So then when I not go know the first question when they ask her for they call her curricular vitae. That's what they call them. That's what the English man they call them. They ask her for a PhD. You not get Ayanda. They can't excuse them. Oh, I don't left her in England. I left her in my cupboard. I left her. No. Where they go now? They interview them. You can't document it. It's somewhere very serious about it. Say if I don't send for this is an age of technology. If I don't get them, but the man simply not get a PhD, so you take everybody for a fool. So when we see the opposition, they begin to talk about it. This that way APC don't start nothing. Now they can't with their fake qualifications and they where even people like them for the answer they all get now Dubai it will get you. So we allow just get knock off research over this and begin look at things and where we feel say we have way of value to people them. And when we not go there, we not give to them they put by you say with the 5 fingers and what we get. As soon as you point one, 4 days back at you. So when APC always make this an issue, then they not forget say you get a whole warehouse of people that with fake qualifications among them. So the question what they ask you, all this way Samura done the office, he don't be a central bank governor, he don't be a secretary of finance, because sweep a President Bio bring in a government, he don't hold a job and it's by Koroma. He served in different capacities. The question is, what is somewhere go actually tell we, as citizens say, they don't do way from it. For example, it is up now in the campaign now. It is of course that he write this for the any side na the country. Because not to region no more go elect him. Again, but what is so preposterous about Samuel? When he go, he try for put a distance between himself and something where he party be not encourage, because not see they take any stand, not only now we push on campus shop, but don't even go back to the infrastructures and we're being destroyed by opposition people then. They electric cables and where people me know for sure say nobody no go there inside this administration, so we go do that. Because when they do them, then they give the government bad name and they no go want to do them. The only people that way they do them, that the opposition, so the government go look bad. But the question is, somewhere don't one day come out and condemn this? No. Let me ask the other question. There is violence upon violence, thuggery, you see the unrest of the country. Somewhere don't ever, as a statesman, come out condemn that. No, why? Samura say, if they're not in governance, peace no good in the country. So that is the easy way Samura no go to that, because in one of the catalysts, in one of the enablers of the situation in the country, they will go for their act. Samura believe in democracy? No. Why Samura not believe in democracy? First of all, he became presidential candidate and they through the back door. Because he knows that impose the imposer. He know that he was not the best, not to have been the only candidate. So we go even, for the, advance the argument that Samura not a Democrat. He not believe in democracy. He not believe, he not get democratic credentials. So now, like you say, he applied in the campaign, he talk to people then, where of course that he right. But the question is, whether the message where Samuel care to the people there. Samuel want to say that where he did in office, especially where he did in charge of the finance of the country there. They do anything to the citizens who say in a go campaign now, where go show say, well, you know what? Under Samura, the economic performance or advancement of this country, look the evidence within a year. We go show it in a bill now, do the infrastructure now. Somewhere they support road construction. What do they do? Then they increase the money over inflate time. What that makes Samura again in they call it 10%. Now the name that way he get. Una go a good of not know. This commission of inquiry where President Bio said so, he was under instruction for certain purposely for Samoa, for letting smoke Samoa out. One of them they say and they come up with people that way close to the one that will be ask the president. The president personally, I can tell anybody this now. President Bio was never interested in setting up a commission of inquiry. But this was really for Samoa, for target Samoa. But at the point in time now, Salute talk for when they did with issues coming in analysis, I will come with the narratives of the TNA. I don't get the full story than I in. This way, you see, they put their head, this how they call out money for the embassy. Then I just a ministry business. You get more serious case than where Samoa, where he didn't hit, where he not be able to survive. He cannot survive because the cornucopia of evidence we go suggest brazen criminality on Samoa in fact it's just too overwhelming for let it survive. So like we say, as far as we concern, we don't assess Samoa all these years we don't in office and the various people that we don't serve. Like I say, don't serve President Bio. You see, he had the Bank of Salium. He don't be the Minister of Finance. He don't also be Minister of Foreign Affairs. And all that, we have not seen anything. Essentially, we have not seen anything. All we see no more with Samoa involved, he also helping for and propagate or promote chaos and disorder. The question is, the people that will say they go campaign, they go buy into no, they're not, because the reason why they don't go buy into whatever it is, apart from the fact that he is not going to be elected, but let's even kick in logic. The logic of syllogism, you see 50% elector. Without the elect so indirectly, na Ernest by Koroma. Because what happened, not forget Ernest by Koroma again office na McKinney. Where the party office where you don't personalize them, when in EBK house, when a day in go sit down and keep putting. Samoa go say that state of because no say Samoa they drunk. Samoa they suffer from sleeping sickness. So Samoa not able. Everything else then go be done now and by Kuruma go do. Now Samoa no more in the name no more. Because you not able to do anything. Now sleep you go to sleep. You sit on a state house where they sleep. So most of them decisions then and by Kuruma go take the decision and push. So we dey ask with citizens there, let them look Samoa, let them weigh up, let them think of the deficiencies there. And how defective it be, then they don't make that mistake there. Because making that mistake there, it will be unmitigated disaster for the country. Now, having laid out Samoa in fitness for the office of president because of all their lapses in finance, I can talk about another thing which is very important in the Bio administration. The president, he did do well. And yeah, I will comment in. Personally, I have been opposed to the president and his wife being front and center, in pronouncement, making pronouncement, taking the political, high road, and all that. But the question is, having taken a serious look, a retrospective look at things, is the wife of the president justified in the year where he did at the, major, forefront? Yes. The question is why? Having actually taken a look for these 4 years, when I don't take a look at the president and agents them, where they around that, we're supposed for showcase and highlight the achievement and the phenomenal achievement in what the president not make under very trying circumstances. Then, I mean, they talk about 4 years for time for unravel the mafia rule. People need to understand say the rule where and by not a rule where you go think saying that a democratic rule where you go usher in prosperity. No. For not forget, say the man come up with one caveat, say in they run the government like a business. No. The mistake where we as Salionians we make, where we not ask whether they go profit from this business. We not ask. By the time we don't can know now whether they actually profit from the mafia business way and by Koroma run, it's too late now. We know that him in family members, and in close associates at the expense and detriment and starvation of the country. So when misguided people that were very unfocused, way that they go out, they are accusing this administration, say, they run hard, things are hard, and all that. But they fail for realize, though, there is a catalyst for this. Everything that the country and the Koroma grab. So it's like, and people like, remember the man talk about the kind about the way austerity, and we all know what austerity means. It's like nothing, obviously nothing. So President Biyo is actually not a crip in the crip. But the problem here, the people them, the agents them, people them who should be out there where they put the case, say, look, you guys should need for give this man a credit. This guy, okay, even if you might not like him as a person, but this man has made tremendous strides then, where he deserves the credit of Una and encouragement. How many of Una know say the AU give Ernest by Koroma $300,000 for mudslide? Where that money? Where the also Ernest by Koroma bid for people that where they supposed to do locals? No. If their money do anything now, then shanty and a pan body nine in the bill, when they get no environmental integrity, get anything we will call a house, he gather all of them money. So the waiting the operatives them or the people that where they allow President you need for do, they now need for also the forefront and showcasing what this man don't do. Pointing out, making, they call them compare and contrast. You go, compare to Ernest by Koroma 11 years of mafia rule, mismanagement of the fabric of the economy, economic deprivation, which you can compare. Lot of schools, quality of education, nothing under Ernest by Koroma, nothing. Medical infrastructures, and mostly hospital business. The president is trying very much for try for make sure say at least we healthcare because a healthy nation now an advanced nation. No nation no go advance where not healthy. No. They try. Under and by Koroma they will be get any of that. No, I can give an example. When he only get picking ready for born picking in England he go. When I demand is when they talk about you don't bring healthcare in the country. One of the ministers came out to say himself when he in girlfriend ready for born picking, he get 50,000 UK pounds. 50,000 UK pounds for born picking in England. So how can people go make any more claim? And then by Koroma, in your school where he claims that he go Magorka, would that brings more respect and dignity by the school? Now President Biyo, now they turn them to something. And then by Koroma get the here in border, Sylvanus or something, they take $100,000 from the citizens that they before me will be college. Now go look at it, the RED. It take $12 million. Here, Balogu Koroma said they go buy Boston. What you see? Then he go to China now. He go bring Yonkia things. These are the things where President Biyo he advises them all. He people them where he hire for. These are the things where they go to point out the decade. The waiting this man for win the court, you get cornucopia of evidence where they out here where they show how and by Koroma care the country go down, where formation say then nobody not even think of bringing APC back into power. But the solid source of we take now is this. Regardless of what happened, 2023 that a foregone conclusion, APC is not coming back to power. That much I know because waiting will happen in the United States. Today, in a food and they not erect a roadblock or what you call a rock of Gibraltar, where they not erect to help people them for block their path. Because I didn't tell anybody, and I know not take this for me. Say Kutubu will be told this April 12th. I know not take this. With all this way they do so. At the end of the day, more even assume they get forget and delegates and they get for other color. The plan where they get now is that now they get for by the delegates then, meaning that would that they want let the delegates go vote for them, for let them make a flag there 9 in the do, because not forget to Salion, that's what they call principle, integrity, self-respect, all of those things, and they don't cast them aside. Waiting on the material fixation and vanity, money, people they do things and and things the way they know say you not right, and just because of, in fact we lead producer now, we lead host now. I recall I don't hear he make a statement. He go na we be gonna salon somebody offer. I think he offer for talk bad about people there. What say enough factual. In exchange for letting get money, but the thing about what happened, the lady, they get principle, a very principle and honest enough and God fearing, he not be support that kind of thing for come for bring down people that on duty because they don't give money. Then at the sort of politics that within a saloon, the hand-to-mouth politics. Somebody go look, injure your reputation for that not because they don't get money. So these are all the things. So in the final analysis, like we tell anybody, no matter what you guys do, and if by Koroma and for the answer, then will get indirectly determine who that therefore be the presidential candidate, because what will happen is that all the votes that what will happen, they buy all the votes and that makes sense. The people that party membership that will go qualify you for go vote in turn. So what you do, they not put enough of that together, pay the people there, and so they will go and vote the way they want to. So in the end again, now who that they want. So even as they go to the third one, where it talks say we call now on the people that the President Bio is supporters them, the one that when they work for, but particularly the media people there, they have to be out there being very robust. They have to be out there for counter APC. We were not a part of President Bio team. We know they get no money. Nobody know they contact me. Nobody know they send it to. I'm going to say this openly now. Nobody has ever contacted us. We actually they try to put a case, for them. Because one of these will come up with a platform here, so now the advantage when they check panel, the advantage, the live when they like panel, will say no, we're not going to sit down in this apple, but we've not benefited anything from I can talk for myself, I can talk about the proprietor of this place, I can talk about my colleagues. I'm not aware of anybody who don't receive any material benefit from them. But we they do have for the good of the country, for make sure they do not misinform and disinform and fool the people them that way. Me personally, me and the guy would not. There's no way we go talk to and interact with them. No. But for the good of the country, we could do that. That means we did that. So then they see with the Canada, when they make this effort here, so this is not fast money. We say really today are for the rest, but because of the good of the country and for patriotism, that make clear. So the appeal to the president, the people there, particularly and the one in the media, the question is what if President Bio in West not be this active for the supporters? So what if some of we, me personally, I they make a public statement actually. Going forward, I'm not going to criticize Mrs. Bio anymore. I am not. I they make a public declaration that for one reason, if they feel the void of the people that when the president they pay for group they work, they are not. So you go sit down. You see things they go wrong, go jump the yes. We might say in the course of doing things there might be one or few excesses there, but on the overall, because these guys have been doing their jobs. I can use an example. Where and by Koroma be in power, not a day we had a Messiah Koroma out there. Because Anes Koroma had people, you get people there. People like Jara Kausu Content, people like Ajibu Jalo, people like Caps Kanunaya, and all the other people. He had people, Oswald Hansons. All of them were there. Even one lady where now Sufofana, these were very active people then. Titus Boy, Johnson. Because because me and them they go up and up way, and It was like me, against the all. Those guys say anything about them, even though when I be very dishonest and fraudulent things that they put out, falsehood propaganda. But those guys, I must tell you, they did a very good job for Kutubu Koroma. Then guy who say the one day when president is not SFP, they know come nowhere close to yeah council continent. Now I can take without I don't even make an eye lead because I know the so we the ask Muna where they did now about time that election time they can also you guys should need for the out there helping this president here so going now putting the case for the president, highlighting, showing the strengths where they don't make in the area of education. If we not go to the armed forces, look at the president agenda for inclusiveness, for make that woman become part of the process. Look the armed forces. How many people they did at the armed forces now? Say they get their association. Under and Microma, how many women were there in the armed forces? We don't hear of it. So these are all the things that these are all empirical evidence of this government here in Arekola. Look the tractor the way they say they don't be for construct feeder roads. Where they even stretch now, another country. So all of this, look the living accommodation where the armed forces that are Salio don't get. State of the art, building accommodation there. Under and by command, they do a decree. But you guys have to be out there pointing these things. You cannot allow propaganda, misinformation, disinformation, and you cannot allow this. APC has always tried on the misinformation and propaganda. This go way back to the 60s, especially under Magai. I saw how they lie on the man. Then they talk say the man a cannibal. Then they accuse SFP people of cannibalism. Oh, they don't keep the woman there. Look at that, they do this and they push out and all of then you SFP was nowhere for counter those things. Nowhere. Some of we don't really get fed up with that guy taking things for granted. So the hope now is they will come out in full swing for help this president also. They need it for help the president. They can't tell anybody now. Going forward, as from this moment where I will never criticize Mrs. Bio. As long as then guy they remain at the cocoon, they are not coming out for justify the pay where the president and the pay them. They know that you might get all the right for the for support you. As they go to the third one, if anybody get any question now, they can say even within this 1 hour, I go open me live small, take 1, 2, 3 questions then as we proceed to the third one. And as we pan now, so they can say the line open. The next thing where I can discuss, I put them in the frame of what you call the other column of democracy. Which side will they go? How will they lay the democracy, the frontiers of democracy? Now I want to plan in retrospect, or will they go back to the 60s from colonial times? See, we come to April 27, where we decide for we safe. We go small. Now, as we go along with this narrative there, because what I will need for you, I will bring in I call it jurisprudence. Jurisprudence in the sense where the laws that we hold the country, we make we a society, and the one them win their own job that they help
Professor, you have a call.
Caller, waiting your name and what's your from please.
Professor, you have a call.
Yes, sir. Professor Kutubu Ramadan Karim. I mean, Australian, the call
Professor,
for
you have a call.
USA.
Yes, I don't hear you. Yes.
Yeah, I just justify about this information department for the president. I agree with you 100%. They are not doing a good job at all. Even the Keketoma, they win a spokesman, then if you go to run a TV, then they molest them. Once this have work in Sipale, they're not even kind of channel, we at least a pro-government channel. They don't even as guest them. In fact, even in Brambe, you can see sometimes they're gonna then anti-government channel in the go molest an online channel. And second, not to bribe them, but boy, where they try for go online. It's what in an online world. I don't say bribe them for pay them for cost, but pay them for go to the good job. This is somebody they really try for showcase the government team. And this man in ministers there and information, they're not going to be all over the world. Politics is expensive. They're not going to pay them, but what they ask for spread the good message. If they're not for spread the good message for the president, it really silent. They left all the responsibility. Now Fatima in hand, and Fatima in a small picking, and sometimes if you overwhelm, he's not a seasoned politician. So sometimes they do well, but at the end of the day, if they make small mistakes, they make it disrespect the guy. It really sad. And one other thing back what I observe about President Bio, this is just me advice. I'm not in text because of a passionate reason. I don't only the I text on because of a family member when I from APC and I cannot text, but when I not can take calls them. One other thing back again what I observe President Bio, for me, make them slow down for spend at Putloco. They don't spend too much na Putloco. Putloco, the spend they don't spend it with the return is very, very small. And also you want to get votes now you opposition hold. But me your advice to President Bio, make them concentrate na Tom Colide. At least Tom Colide give them a member of parliament. On a fashion a place when they even give a councillor. At least a Falaba district, give them a chairperson. Just after a short time, we then just enter. Not even better thing than do it. At least within that short time, they cannot give an overwhelming council of seats. I know say Julie Jallo they try because he want convince, but the put lot of people now did not accommodate. We look like some of the most difficult people then for convince. If the SI Koroma we work for them, say we APC don't SI Koroma. They still in a revenge. We see the 2018 election. After we then say on for the future, we no good take and then still enough for vote for APC overwhelmed. The man don't take Kadisi as he running it, he do well for them, they not vote for him. He take Julde as he running it. The only blessing Julde, he gave vote through the fuller tribe. Becoming a man of fuller people would really support with ethnic city. If Julde was not fuller, I wonder if the same result of the people will take Kadisi. I'm not saying they cannot spend it, but let's not forget in stronghold. May consider na Kailao, Kenny Ma, who let not make the overfix. Let not follow your enemy tell you lost you support us there. Tie is against him. And make it blow this travel now, make it go at the foot now, make it go look for himself because then in people they're not a helper. Look at how they were aggressive in the internal politics. Now all those people they don't get in position and they after the internal politics now they all don't go relax. Look somebody like Fatmata Sawani, she was very active. Una put all the incumbent they wake out on our president and our power. Una all been the fate on ourselves. Not only self nine Hamburg, then begin fate themselves so fast. You can't fight incumbent like after mother in second term knocking so that the fate on ourselves, but they were so aggressive to each other. Now they are just sitting there where they go then follow, where mother they go then follow. What are they doing? Even the chairman no go campaign na Koya. The Koya people then do very well. Let the mother see any sign of good luck where they vote for her. Make it do for them, but also they not vote for her, make it relax. And advice and thank you so much. If you want to know about nothing.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
For passionate reason.
Yes.
Okay, then bye.
Thank you so much. So let God bless that we call her, especially now this night, don't try, and I'm glad we are open the line. You know, we're open the line for them. These are the things, these are the concerns. These guys are not. In fact, I mean, I will make them one of the major broadcasts. One of them this year openly, you know, let him know. And someone we go openly tell the president when he come back. Virtually all of them guys get for be sacked because now for nothing money. These guys are not helping. You're the quite to come. I have watched everything. I watched. The guy said we work for and by Koroma. I make a name they all. I name they all. Titus Boy Johnson, Yara Kausu Conte, you get Ajibu Chalo, you get all of them guys. Caps Kanu Naya. Those guys did justify the money. But you get people like PK one of them. Where you go now, WhatsApp, they see them. They spend more time on WhatsApp, they talk Jigbe Jagba. Look, somebody like it. Who say you to the Keke Thomas and Keke Thomas and you not get what he be for be government spokesman because being the spokesman for the government and the state house spokesman now a major job that now you know the government spokesman that this country we know the role of this spokesman and the White House spokesman we know what's in that role there. We don't know if the man get restriction waiting for talk waiting over. But since Keketoma Sandy don't get the job yet, I don't follow everything Keketoma Sandy they do and they call them, not even worth referring to. What? Because I not seeing no substance. The only two I say, oh, the president go here, and that. Yes, two, three, four. No. You as a press executive, you for don't make sure. Whatever happens, I will credit Dr. Septimus Kaikai, Professor Septimus Kaikai, we work under President Yankaba. The press know that Professor Septimus Kaikai. They knew you. He get the stature, he get the personality, he get the gravitas, he get the. Believe me, the guy was in control. But Keketoma Sunday, you keep, there are certain people, there are certain jobs that, regardless of whether your academic qualification, you're not caught for it. Keketoma Sunday is not caught for the job of being the government spokesman. No, he's not. He's not. He doesn't know. He don't get the style. He don't get the delivery. He don't get the substance. He don't even articulate policies there. By now, that man for don't make a point of duty almost on weekly basis. For example, I know if shows they get resident correspondents in a state house. Therefore, don't arrange the state house machinery. You get resident correspondent and when they wait that door clean, Keketoma meet with the president get the agenda here, the president go through, they look at everything. Then he called a press conference, he then at the podium, they talk to them. But we don't see this. All of this, now this is for this misinformation, disinformation, propaganda, lies. The president's agendas are not being sold. So there has to be a radical transformation of this. The president can move with dispatch for make sure they change the narrative now. They change it. And like I tell anybody, I am not going to criticize Mrs. Bio anymore for her robustness. Because you don't look this, you don't look at in, you don't look at out, you don't look at me, better not in that. And like I talk, I never, for the 11 years and my Koroma was in power, not a day did I see Mrs. Koroma out there before any media. Because the man had young people there, not to Mrs. Koroma, young job there. So again, on a more reflection again, I go even say I regret criticizing President Bio for allowing Mrs. Bio for the forefront. When I don't see them, I don't. Once you get for be honest with yourself, be honest with your conscience. Let's be honest with myself. I don't see them, I don't make a retrospective look. Both a retrospective and introspective nature in the. I said, okay, President Bio, nobody not elected Mrs. Bio, which is true. But then, why is why is so tolerant of Mrs. Bio in foreign into policy and color? I don't see that look. I say, oh, okay, now I see what I mean. These guys and this doctor, that professor, this that make they always say, not to the high sounding school set or qualifications the way you see, we as alone I didn't have the emphasis, doctor, this, doctor, that, professor. No. That doesn't have the team. You know, American, they know they pay you because they call you a doctor, Dr. Johnson, Dr. Dino, they pay you because of productivity. The guys that their productivity actually not supports the so-called qualification when they get. So there has to be a radical and like I say, going forward, I will never criticize Mrs. Bio. And if anything, I will even begin to promote her and encourage her. Because she's providing a void where people that were supposed to do the work for the president, they are not doing it. So this is the way, today particularly, I decided I can't hit the guy they are so. Because I don't look. I don't see no way. Me even don't go as far as accusing them of sabotage. For example, the governor of Bank of Salem say they bribe people of 68 million. No, you cannot make a statement like that. You go expect Sani and not wait a minute. No, waiting the governor. I think that slip of tongue. Not so that actually it mean because something like this it get an effect on the government. The government is out there fighting corruption. So for the central bank governor for come make that kind of a statement and then nobody not come correct that and if I go like that, ipso facto, that has to be a fundamental concern there. So in my approach to the governance of President Bio, and the wife, and they take another look at this until I see then guys they become very robust in defending waiting, I know they say let they defend wrong. I know they say let they turn blind eyes and deaf ears. Let they get a past like where people that be transmogrify and then by Koroma for be this kind of a demigod. Where now they see no evil here, no evil. Yeah, all kind of name. The world best and not now it like they will be the holla, Hosanna, Hosanna, and then they say, no. But I tell people for be very objective, but at the same time, I tell them for be very robust, pointing out the things that the president don't do. Where these are there are certain things that they were very tangible, they're very empirical. You do see the evidence they there. So going forward, and we approach this. So, like I say, we talk about the frontiers of good governance. So, as we see the country in the 60s, we have very good governance. In the question of talking about the frontiers of good governance, I will settle that on the judiciary. Now, I really want settle for say the judiciary in that part of this problem here. So, where a day like today, where Salio non vanish from the pedestal of grace to the abyss of irrelevance because of it. Because like I already say, I don't know certain where I don't stay in America too long. I've seen things and I read about our country there. I do follow, they read. For example, I see what happened at Britain, where the Prime Minister, Mr. Boris Johnson, being suspend Parliament, like that, with no constitutional authority. No, they stood up to him. They took him to court. And the Supreme Court ruled against him. Say, no, oh man, you don't get this power now. So you mislead the Queen, you give the Queen a wrong information, allow the Queen for suspend the Parliament, for me, make the Mami look bad. Because I get for advice the Queen being the sovereign head, now the Queen I get for do that, he get wrong information, so the Mami look bad. But in the end, the court reversal. So, like I always say, if everything else in society fails, the parliamentary aspect of our fail, the executive arm of our fail, one aspect of governance, way not for faith, these are the things that this way in the 16th century, and philosophers, put together the three branches of government, and people like Montesquieu, and people like John Locke, these are the things that when they put together, where you get a legislative arm of government, you get an executive arm of government, you get a judicial arm of government, where they call check and balance. From that famous Magna Carta, we became in 1215, where they said they challenge King John, now Ronnie Mead, where they challenge and say get too much power, then they take some of the power, then they come in power. These are the elements in this way go into, even America, the old democracy, where, when they get independent, when they write their laws in there, where they make sure they separate powers. So now they see, now no one person, no, they exercise and the extraordinary and plenipotentiary powers. No. Powers are evenly divided. The president will say one thing, but if it don't jive with the law, the people in the car when court, and the courts they look up and say, oh no, this don't jive with the law. So the frontiers of of democracy of governance when you talk about that really get for take into serious account separation of powers then where the judiciary could be the one, because when all is said and done, I want everybody understand this. When all is said and done, when the other branches of government fail the citizen, the one branch will not fail the citizen and the judicial, because now they act as a bastion of a constitutional liberty system. Now then will the nation they revolve, the well-being, the survival, which become a nation and one way we put in where the rule of law now they serve as the ethical foundation and the moral compass now on the nation they revolve. So when that become healthy and unethical and faulty, we are faced with unmitigated disaster. Now let's look at the pronouncement where Andrea Fisher make. You go ask yourself how any self-respecting judge go carry himself that low. He go allow himself for be provoked or for be tempted. All of this, I can give now waiting at the antecedents to nature, waiting at the answer, waiting at the reason. We judiciary as me know, I tell Papa God thank you. People go and say Kutubu want show off, Kutubu thinks say he's this, Kutubu thinks that no. I really want to assure now Kutubu is not this Kutubu. What we do, I spend inordinate amount of New York time studying the structure of Saloon. So for know what is actually Saloon, what is Saloon, what is Saloon stand for, what is the indices of this country, what is Saloon. And in the course of studying Saloon at a relatively young age, I compartmentalize information. I make sure say I store information in my head. I store in my head, in my subconscious about what is Saloon. For example, I knew with judiciary, then before and immediately after independence, I saw the men and women who sat on our bench. Now with judiciary, we judges them, we magistrate them. I saw them. I saw people like Luke, Fashion Luke, Desmond Luke in Papa, the first black man where Sidonpa we caught in a salon, High Court. I saw people like Salako Benkakoka, the first Chief Justice in a salon. I saw people like Samuel Bankole Jones. I saw people like Singabet. I saw people like Yokubet. Sam Foster. I saw all these were men, and even Agnes Macaulay, the first woman where Sidonpa we caught. You ask a lot of people, they don't even know who Agnes Macaulay was, but the first woman that where Sidonpa we caught. These were people with very unassailable personal moral integrity, where their commitment to that a profession, to that a noble profession that one, were totally unassailable. These days, hearing judges are taking bribes, judges are involved in miscarriage of justice, justices are involved in what you call justice delayed, justice denied, unnecessarily. Mostly, when they hear me in a salute forum where they deal with issues coming and analysis, where are they deal with people and cases in their town, their land cases, this and that. Now, my house now, I get a whole department section where I don't open. You're dealing with corrupt lawyers, and even today, somebody sent me a note on one of their so-called lawyers, when they call Elvis Cargo. What did he do? We don't see lawyers and they forge signatures them. I get their paper and then when they send it to me, lawyers they forge, forge signatures them, forge papers them, and so they people away about their land business for their land. All this happen. The advent of Shaka Stevens, where come now we country, we must make this a point of this. What will they talk about? Who says why we they so today? A day like today, why we don't go? We were used to be first in everything. We had a first university that the whole sub-Sahara way. Now there people they come up from Ghana, Nigeria, Cameroon, and all the other places. They can't study there. You begin. If you not actually remember the story of University of Salio, I should remember a famous name when they call it Ajay Crowder. Then these are people that were good. So they show you the enormous respect. In the colonial administration of, when we get Nigeria, Ghana, Salion, Gambia, and Salion have been the headquarters for colonial administration. Salion was. I saw, colonial administrators, people like Commissioner Payne, these white people. I even saw white judges, one such now, Justice Arthur Dobbs. Forest industry, we don't go down so a day like today. White man, I mean the leader, one of the Mr. Price, white man. I saw the white people, I saw them. I knew what Salion was. I knew what Salion had. Some of it, that Salion United today with regret. You did not need to come to oversee for stay Nayatego. No. When people came to oversee, especially they went to England, within the constraints or context or something, they went back home. because the country had things to offer to them. There was what it called home. They had everything at their disposal. You did not need to come to overseas to get anything because you had everything. We even get major commercial enterprises there. Some of we see UAC, CFO, GBO, and all of them. Where they make everything where they get now overseas. If na motocar, we get motocar and industries in a salon, we get them. Car dealership. You don't need for come overseas for buy anything. These where did it? Some of we now only 1989 will be here talk here about a blackout na salon. When we grew up to Commander, there's nothing like blackout. No. Because the infrastructure was in place. But when you get bad governance, the mismanagement of the fabric of the society, actuated by the advent of the APC, led by Shaka Stevens, now the horizon, our political horizon, now irresponsible for we being a nation, we move from the pleaded cell of grace to the abyss of irrelevance. Academic fraud, people that they cheat, people that they buy exam papers, no, those things we are very. Oh Lord, I don't even know how to conclude this. When somebody graduates from University of Salon, by then we were an affiliate of Durham University. When then November, when they do convocation, when they say you got a first class honor division 1 upper, believe me, everywhere you went, you were headed high. These days, somebody they come out college. I don't really think so. College people, where thanks to them, social media group, they WhatsApp, they I don't see people then when they claim say they get degree, when they say, hey God, why have education gone to this level? But then again, we get the answer. Shaka Stevens, the Cassie, here was a famous talk with Shaka Stevens. He said they say Jamil or Bailobari, you say Davis Indiko. Can anybody imagine that kind of a soulful statement? So in other words, he de-emphasized the quality of education. Material fixation, I mean. Then Momo not help the situation. Momo just say education not to write, that a privilege, not to write, not to human right, that a privilege. Well, of course, not a human right. But so I don't know if anybody get any question now, because we normally we program them now just 1 hour, now 1 hour program we get. And I think say tell no debate me now, but I want call time now with listener we become where he also expressed concern about the fact that President Bio is not being helped because the people then where he pay, where he don't hire, they are not promoting a program at all. If anything, me even go to the extent say they undermine them. And this is what they do. A good number of them, they all get foreign passport and today, tomorrow, something. But by God's own power, I mean, the citizens then will be very understanding. They will actually understand the fact that President Bio actually is doing his very effort, and that you just need some extra time for let it continue what they do. And the hope is that some of you will begin for campaign say, as you come, all of them guys they need for go. All of them they need for go. And also we will begin appeal to President Biole, also begin diversify the projects the way they do. They not just concentrate on one area, because then Christian they say, seek ye the kingdom of heaven first, and all shall come unto you. Inside your constituency, he also need for take care of them also. Because in the final analysis, he need their support, he need their help. Because they sit down and they watch and see what will happen. He not go spend all this time to help they develop the other. I'm not saying they not do it because it's the country as a whole. But we are all that to young people they serve under. Then you try for whole kind of lights, before them. So in other words, let it make developmental projects and evil not just happen. Yes, I mean he's tried his best. He don't try. I mean just minimal nothing. So they go get for sit down and recalibrate and see how I go put things together and help in young people there. So by God, we come back tomorrow when Chief Commissioner Vandy is going to be here tomorrow. And if God agree, well, I don't say God will agree, we're coming back on Thursday for the feed and lies, the misinformation, disinformation, and the propaganda, the baseless propaganda, where APC they put out with the candidate for defeat them. And we could get a special program, defeating the lies to the candidate. Then Saturday, Godfrey will come up again with social media review, where they put, where they consolidate everything will not happen into context and perspective. Una will be part of her. I want to continue for appeal to say una part of this, platform here. Una part of this unity broadcasting. We need una input. We rely on the feedback they una they give it. The feedback they help we for correct anything say way we think say it is here, of course. We know they we know they take exception to anything. The only thing about way we not go encourage now, in civility, we not go encourage them. But anything when a constructive, criticism, in recommendations, which you go help we for build this, platform here. Because one level now, be part of we want create, the adequate wanna be where we go trust we. The information they bring in one way verifiable, we will not even out of malice or vengeance or try for defame anybody. No. But these are facts that we go put stone now. So now 5 minutes left. Officially, let me put. So I want to give anybody a chance for calling. If now 1, 2, 3 minutes, you explain really, concern. You come with your little narrative to all the things that we I don't talk. Like I say, it's like I get 255 now, so I get 5 solid minutes in my hand, where I think I'm able to play with. Say, let will be at least also be part of it. But if we are not call again, the settled assumption on the part will be, yes, una approve of what they come up with. Una go rather prefer for listen to what you talk, so that una go pick up a lot of things then, una go learn it. Because my own job now, when they give me now, to be honest with you, the political history. I really go try for talk to management for let I go outside discussing Salion political history now also. One tell they bring the political history of other countries also. Because they bring myself of sage, they keep up with what they happen in other African countries. Because we have to understand, we live in a world where we interdependent. In other words, what will happen in Ghana and one way or the other, either by fate or design, it will also affect everything they happen to. For example, the president of Ghana, because of the harsh reality, they don't reduce salaries then. They don't reduce expenditures. They don't do this. So things like that, we say, look at, okay, look at this is what the government of Ghana done. Let us say, do this for reflect the harsh realities of times. We'll do what it is. So hopefully one time I will bring in, waiting to happen in other countries because me own job, like I say, the political history, and that will help you honor because one use space also for broaden the knowledge of people there. One make people understand we are unity broadcasting, we get the capacity for also help educate people then or share with knowledge and experience with listeners here. So once on a while, I will be bringing it. So until we order a producer or host Chief Commissioner Vandy come tomorrow, and until we come again Thursday and Saturday, I want to wish all my Muslim, brothers and sisters there, Ramadan Mubarak, and we pray to Allah say the fast. I will not start with Bismillah Rahman Rahim. No, and Alhamdulillah.